not, that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna be talking. Wow, that was not English. We're gonna be talking about a couple different things, okay? The first thing that I want to bring attention to is the new team board. Put a one in the chat if you've seen it, you have it, you love it. Put a two in the chat if you're like, what new team board? And there's no shame in that, okay? If you're like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, that's okay. We're gonna talk about it because we have been working feverishly. Is that the right word? I don't know. We've been working very hard on this board. Yes, the one Jade made. Her and I, um, and a couple other people, Mariah, and then two other leaders, worked together to kind of create a board, okay? Because we have so many systems and so many different things for new brand partners to come into that it's a little bit overwhelming when you bring a new brand partner in because it's like, okay, now go join 742 different groups and then also join 65 different messenger groups and then telegram groups and then this and that. And it's like, what is important, right? And so I don't know if you guys have felt that. Put a zero in the chat if you're like, yeah, felt that. Don't know how to start a new brand partner. Because subconsciously, if you're thinking like, I don't know what the heck to start people on, you're not going to enroll brand partners because you're not going to know what the heck to do with them. Can I get an amen if you're like, yep, I don't know what's happening? Okay. And that's fine. And it's something that we've known and we've talked about, and we're like, it is what it is, right? And so this board, this is the new holy grail thing. Okay. A lot of times, Rebecca, I saw you said you made your own. I had two because I'm like, it's just too much. It was just so much going on. And so our goal and our hope is that now with this board, it's a Limitless Collective board. When you sign a new brand partner, you're going to have them join the Limitless Collective team page on Facebook, and you're going to have them use the Limitless Collective board. Okay. Limitless Collective team page, Limitless Collective board. These work together, and this is all of our systems with all of our leaders' magic together. Okay. Jada shared it in her chats. When the Zoom is over, ask in whatever team chats you're on. It'll be shared again. If you aren't in a team chat, go look at the Limitless Collective group page. It is on there. Okay. This board has everything you can possibly think of. Okay. And so I'm just going to share my screen really quick. I just want to highlight a couple things. Please don't do this to me right now, Zoom. Don't do it. Okay. If you guys know, my Zoom does really not, it's not a fan of sharing my screen with my phone. So we'll see how this works. I know I'm on a breath. I know I sound like I ran a marathon. Just bear with me. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Here's the board. Okay. This has everything you can possibly need for the business. Okay. This has all the best from other boards. This is constantly also a work in progress. Okay. So if there is something that you're like, man, I really wish there was scripts for this, or I really wish there was more direction for this, reach out to your leader and say, like, hey, can you talk to Jade or can you look at getting this put into the board? Because we want this to be an all-inclusive board for you. Okay. We don't want you to have 76 different billion boards because it's very overwhelming and confusing. Okay. So it is constantly going to be evolving. It's constantly going to be adding things to it. Okay. So first thing, the host to post system, you guys. This is my face that it's, I just really wish the screenshot was better, but it is what it is. Okay, this is a video about what host to post is. Okay, here's written if you don't know what it is. Here's a host to post tracker for you to track Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way through and your enrollments for that week. Okay, here's tips on how to get host to post up, the different host to post, whatever. There's a TikTok host to post folder on here that Sam put on there, which is incredible. I just started doing it. I'm sure we'll do an in-depth training on that one of these days. Um, and there's literally messages and scripts for everything, okay? Here's some story stickers. These you just copy and paste and put them over your story, right? There's so much done for you, okay? The other thing that I wanted to draw attention to is this welcome to Amare family. This is where to go when you sign a brand partner, okay? Welcome. Here's a video to watch. Day 1 through 5, right? This is an enrollment tracker. If whether you're brand new or not, I want you to print this out, okay? It's in the Welcome to Amare board. These are brand partners that you enroll, customers that you enroll, and this is how you track your focus on 5. Okay? It's $500. And I just want you guys tonight, your homework is to just go look through this board. There's so much on here that literally every day if I look at something, I'm like, dang, this is like everything. It's everything, okay? The other thing that I want you guys to know about, how many of you put a one in the chat if you know about the VIP lounge, put a two in the chat if you're like, what is that? Okay. Again, no shame. No shame. The stickers button, I know. One, two, one. Okay. So the VIP lounge, it will also be shared um in the team chats. It's on the Limitless Collective board. This is where you're going to add brand partner potentials. Okay. So if you're talking to someone, Jade's like, I'm driving, I can't drive numbers. It's okay. Jade, we know you know what the VIP lounge is. So this is where you're going to drop potentials. So like if you're talking to someone and they're like, well, I just don't know or whatever, you're going to say, hey, while we're talking real quick, I'm going to add you to a group that just has some more information. Okay. And this is also going to be constantly evolving, right? Okay. So here's what the biggest thing. When somebody, you're going to send them a link and you're going to say request to join, and we're going to work on scripts that we're going to put in the team board shortly. Okay. So that's coming. You're going to say, here's the link, request to join. Let me know when you do. I'll make sure you're added and then tag you in the video to watch. You're going to tag them here, right? You're going to tag them and say, watch this. See, Mariah and I have done it. Okay. I will tell you right now, two of these three are signing as brand partners from this video. Is Jade magic? I don't know, but I've always thought she is. So we're going to go with yes. Okay. So you're going to tag them in there and say, watch this. There's also things. If you, she is magic, yes. This is a video that I did. If you have someone who is leaving another company or has been with another company, this is comparing my previous experience to why I decided to come here. Okay. Here's another video. Here's an old video. Here is about the happy juice, right? We're going to continually be adding things to this page that we think are useful. Okay. So this is where we want to funnel all of our brand partner potentials in. There is a possibility that there will be challenges of getting people in here in the future. I want you guys to commit to using this. If you are struggling signing brand partners, get people in here. I don't care if you have to message random people and be like, hey, this is super random, but I have a group on Facebook with some more info about what I do to make money on social media. Did you want me to add you so you can check it out? I don't care. There's probably a script like that that I can find and write for you, right? Get people in here because especially right now with Christmas and everything going on, people need money. How many of you guys have seen people hustling their booties off for free TikTok money for 20 bucks a day? Y'all seen that? And they post like 746 times. Now listen, I ain't gonna lie. I took all the free $20 a day I could. But the amount of people who are putting their time and effort in to $20 of TikTok money a day, if they remind you, I'll get scripts for the message. Okay, Jade's gonna put scripts in the board for getting people into the VIP lounge. We're gonna do that tonight, okay? The amount of times that people are posting about this purple link, the purple whatever, okay? If they put that time and effort into this business, they could be making 500 plus a month every single month. Do you understand that? People are putting so much time and effort into it and they're just it's not pointless, but like it's TikTok money versus like cash to like pay rent and pay your car payment. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's the thing, you guys. I want you to commit tonight to look in that board and look at all the things. This should replace any board you have. If you're looking at the board again and it is missing something, please reach out to one of us and we will make sure it gets fixed or added or whatever. Okay. We want to make this as simple as possible for you to be successful. And I know a lot of times you guys have probably heard the saying, confused mind says no, right? It's the same thing with the business. If you're confused, you're not going to do a dang thing because you're not going to know what to do, which leads me to my next point. Okay. A lot of my Zooms lately have been me praying or something, and I just have this thought, this like intense thought, and I'm like, okay, we're going to go with it. Okay. So this came to me when I was praying and I was like, we're going to go with it because someone needs to hear it. And I want you guys to admit to it in the chat if you can. How many of you have kind of been in like a scurry mode for the past week or so or month or so with holidays that you're like, I don't even know what to do because you feel like you don't have enough time on your hands to do all the things. And so you don't know what the next thing to do is. Put a 3 in the chat if that's you, where you're like, I don't have the time right now to do all the things I want to do. And so I don't know what to do. And so what had came to me was focusing on the next right thing. Okay, a lot of times we get very overwhelmed and very stressed out trying to figure out all of the different steps we have to take, all the different things we have to do. We should post and we should message and we should do this and we should do that and we should do this and we should do that, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes all we can do is just focus on the next right thing, the next right thing. And so I made a picture for you guys. I will share it in the team page. And it just is titled The Next Right Thing. And I just want you to save it. Let me see if I can find it. I can pull it up for you guys and show it to you. It's nothing crazy. But sometimes we get so in our head of the different things that we can do that we just don't do anything, right? It's like when you have 7,000 different things to clean in your house and you're like, I don't even know where to start, so I'm going to sit and watch Netflix. You guys know what I'm talking about? Unless that's just me, that's my favorite thing to do in the world, okay? This is what it looks like, the next right thing, okay? It's literally just a list so that you can, when you have a second, you can look at it and be like, what can I do right now? And when you start doing the little right things, it's going to add up to big things. But a lot of times when you're in a scurry mode of things happening and you're stressed out and this and that, right? We don't know what to do. And then it's like you're trying to sit there and you're like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Should I message? Should I post? Should I pick something and do it? And then if you're still feeling up to it, do something else. And you're still feeling up to it, do something else because you guys, this is going to exercise that muscle of doing things, right? Because I know a lot of you, and I'm not calling out names because I don't know half of you on this Zoom, but I know a lot of you are in a mode of like, okay, Christmas time is busy. I'm going to pick it up in January. Whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of you are thinking that, okay, Christmas is busy. It's just going to be busy till the end of the year and I'll pick it up in January, right? It's like, I'll go full force in January. Okay. But even if you do a little bit right now, you could have 100, 200, 300 more potentials to talk to come January. But if you stop now and you don't do anything until January 1st, it's going to be really freaking hard to pick it up come January 1st. Okay. Mariah and I'm going to call her out because I know her and it's me too, is we have been in those spots in our business where we're like, I'm just going to take a couple weeks off. I'm just going to like, I just need to get things together, right? I just need to get my life together. Do you know how much easier it would have been to do a little bit every single day for those 2 weeks versus to take it off and then try to make yourself do everything again? It's so hard. And I know life is heavy for a lot of you right now, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of feelings, and there's a lot happening. But sometimes you just have to force yourself to do the uncomfortable things, right? Because your full-time job, you go every single day, whether you want to or not, right? You show up every single day, whether you want to or not, or your spouse does, right? Because they don't have a choice. They can't be like, well, it's busy with the holidays, so like I'll come in January. No, you would lose your job, right? But because this business is so great that you don't have a boss that can fire you, it's also so hard because you don't have a boss that can fire you. And so you can take every single day off if you want to, which makes it really, really hard to pick yourself up. It makes it really, really hard to force yourself to do the things. And so that's why I made this picture that's just called The Next Right Thing. So if you have a second and you have a little inkling of motivation, I want you to capitalize on that and look at the list, pick something to do and do it. And then if you feel up to it, do another thing. And eventually it's going to be easy. So many of you have talked to you guys that are like, I don't understand how you message 100 people a day every single day. Because I've done it every single day for years. So it doesn't feel like anything. 75 messages to some people or 100 messages to someone can feel like a lot. To me, I have 100 messages done before 10 a.m. every single day because I don't think about it because I've worked out that muscle so much that it doesn't feel hard, right? Like if you went to the gym, the first time you tried to pick up a 50-pound dumbbell, you'd be like, I think I might die if I pick this up. Well, if you picked it up every single day and lifted with it every single day after a year, it wouldn't feel like anything. It wouldn't feel like anything. So just remember that the first times that you do these things, that you push yourself in the days that you don't want to, it's going to feel hard. But the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. We will make a giant post on Limitless Collective after this Zoom with all the boards and the VIP launch links and all the things that you guys need. Okay. So I just wanted to encourage you guys that in this busy season, okay, I understand it's busy. Okay. It is Christmas time. I have pneumonia. Both of my kids are sick. We're traveling. We got 7,000 things going on. And I have 7,000 reasons why I could say I can't work this business right now. But I also have 7,000 reasons why I need to. And you got to choose which reason you're going to let win. You got to choose which reason you're going to listen to. Because at the end of the day, one of them's going to win. One of them's going to win. And I want you to choose the one that your future self is going to thank you for. I was talking to Jade and I don't remember if it was a Zoom or something. And she was like, I try to do stuff that like my tomorrow self is going to high five me for. That my tomorrow self is going to be like, hey, thanks for doing that. That was really helpful. That was really good. Right? Like just and it doesn't need to be the big things. She said one of her things that she does that her tomorrow self thanks her for is she messages every night before she goes to bed. Every night. Because then she wakes up to messages and she's like, oh, heck yeah, things are popping. Right? And she wakes up in a good place. You already know when you wake up to people like, hey, tell me more info, you're like, oh, today's about to be a good day. Right? And so she puts herself into that mode every day. Right? It's the same thing like, if you know me, I am not a clean freak. Okay, I don't give two fudges what my house looks like. Okay, I just don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, she loves a clean house. And so every night, her little task that her future self thanks her for is she does the dishes and washes down the counters every day so that in the morning she wakes up to a peaceful kitchen. I'm never peaceful in the morning, so whether my kitchen is clean or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. But start thinking of those tasks that your future self would be like, wow, thanks for doing that. That's really helpful, right? Or like, what are the things that you wish your husband would do that you'd be like, thank you, that was really nice, and that made my life a lot easier, right? If your husband could do things for the business that would make your life just a little bit easier, start doing those things. And it's going to compound and it's going to come together. Mariah, you want to make it all preachy and make me sound like I don't know what I'm doing?
Well, it was just perfect the way it lined up because after we had talked earlier about what like you were gonna go over on the Zoom, I instantly knew what I wanted to say, and it lines up so good with what you were just saying. So it's perfect. But because I wanted to talk about the same thing about what we're doing versus not doing, right? Because especially in the season, like Courtney was just saying, it's so easy to make those excuses because holidays are hard. You're worried about money, you're worried about traveling, you're worried about family, and you're worried about family that's not going to be around anymore. Like you're worried about how you're going to get the house clean before the new toys come in and what Santa's going to bring. And like, there's just so many different things going through our minds. So it's the easiest time all year to choose not to work. Okay. So I want you guys to hear that one part real quick again that you're choosing not to work because you don't accidentally not work. Okay. If you didn't get your task list done tonight, that was the choice you made. You decided to prioritize something over your business. And that's okay. We're all going to have those days, but like, we got to own it, right? Your time didn't just get away from you. You didn't tell it where to go. And so when we can take charge of our time, it gives us the power to make sure we're making those conscious decisions. You're not going to work your business 100% every day. You're just not going to. And that's okay, but own that, own your time in that sense. And so I want you guys to put, I don't know what number we're on, so we're going to start over because I'm talking now. So it's my first numbers. We're going to say number one in the chat. I want number one in the chat. If you have not, like, you're ending this year at this moment, if today was the last day of the year, you're ending the year not where you wanted to be. Okay. A one, if you're just, it's not what you wanted it to be. If today was the last day of the year. Okay. This is for you guys, right? Because this is where I feel like so often we get. You're going to have your bomb year. You're going to have your breakthrough. You're going to have the year you go diamond or executive or silver or whatever your big goal is. You're going to have the year where it gets there and it ends and you're like, wow, this is the year God did the thing, right? But a lot of times building up to that, you get towards the end of the year and you're like, wow, this isn't what I wanted. So I'm going to elaborate on that and I want you guys to drop a two if you've got a little bit of uneasy and fear going into next year where you're like, well, I didn't do it this year, so I mean, is it going to come together next year? Like, is it a me problem? Am I maybe not in the right place? Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. And it's that little uneasy feeling we get sometimes, right? Where we want to be so hopeful, we want to be so excited, we want to believe that because it happened for them, it can happen for us, but we haven't seen it yet. So we just get a little uneasy, right? And so I want to piggyback off of what Courtney has been saying this whole time, right? About how we're taking time back. We're not doing the things. We get overwhelmed with that ADHD brain, that panic mode of I don't even know what to do. Guys, so fear breeds or inaction breeds fear, okay? So, 9 times out of 10, when you're feeling that fear in your business, whether it be over how this year went going into next year, whether it be how this week is going, maybe the month, like I thought I'd have some more enrollments. I really wanted my Focus on 5 done. I really wanted my Power of One done. I really wanted whatever it was, even this month. I really wanted to sign an enrollment today, whatever that is. And that feeling starts creeping in of like, I don't know, right? I'm not confident in this. I'm not confident in me. Can I do this? Why isn't it working? 9 times out of 10, when we start feeling that fear, we can trace it back to inaction because inaction breeds fear. But the cool thing, guys, is action breeds confidence. So if you want to be ending this year, because the cool thing is it's over. We had to pretend for a minute today was the last day because it's not. You have weeks left. If you want to end this year, to make it defining, to make this month monumental, to feel good going into next year, and to set yourself up for next year, it's this simple switch. Is we have to go from inaction to action. We have to go from not skipping out, not allowing the fear to win, not allowing the doubts, not allowing the I don't knows and the comparison and all those icky feelings win, and instead decide that we're going to choose the action because we can't always choose how we feel. But I promise you, like Courtney was just saying, Jade sends those messages before bed. You know what that does? It wakes her up in a place where she has action waiting for her. There's no inaction there, right? She's not waking up to an empty inbox because that's going to breed fear. You wake up and you have no one to talk to, and that's how you got to start your day. Already in the trenches, already figuring out who the heck I'm going to message, already figuring out, I feel like I've talked to everyone. Instead, if you're doing something small like sending around messages before bed, you wake up with action at your doorstep. You open your phone and you can start responding from the get go. You can start writing potentials down from the get go. That puts you in a state of action and that puts you then in confidence. Because no matter what work you're doing, if you're not taking charge of the way you feel about it and the way you think about it, the work is not going to be fruitful. We can send the same amount of messages, the 100 messages Courtney is saying, if she sends 100 messages and I send 100 messages, but I'm coming from a place of, I don't know how it's going to work out, and it hasn't worked out yet, and what if it doesn't happen for me? And she's working from a place of, you know what? I know it's going to come together. I know God's got me. I know that I deserve this. I know that I'm worthy. We can send the same messages to the same people in the same number. She will get results that I never will, not because Courtney's better than me, but because she believed for it. So you guys have to choose to do the action. And then you got to believe that you're worthy and the action's going to matter. Because we got to stop sending the messages just to send the messages, right? Just to say, well, I sent the 20 messages, nothing happened. I'll send 20 more, but nothing else is going to happen. Well, honey boo boo, you were doing right. Because what you put out was going to keep happening. So if you're going into it being like no one signed yet, so they probably aren't from this round of messages, they're not going to. But if you treat every message like it's a life you get to change, every message, it's someone that is going to host a post for you because they need that money, and maybe that person's going to be the one that wins, and you get to message them and see how that winning, the giveaway blesses their life. Or every follow up or reach out for a distributor or a brand partner is someone that you see that you know that you can change their life right here before the holidays, that you can give them a way to get through the end of the year and to start next year to change their life. Every single message you send about Happy Juice is someone that is struggling with depression, that doesn't know how they're going to get through the day, and you have the solution. You're going to help them lose weight that they haven't been able to lose. You're going to help them feel better in ways they've not felt in years. And every message you send has the possibility and the power in it, and you believe for it. It's not your job to determine the results. It's your job to determine the feeling going into it. And when you can put that energy into the action, guys, that's going to completely revolutionize your business. It's not a matter of doing all of these crazy things. It's a matter of doing the minimums, right? Doing your things, doing your posts, doing your reels, doing your messages, believing it's going to matter, and doing it consistently. Because if you're not doing the things, that's the action. So we have fear creeping in when we're not doing the things. If we're not believing for it, it's not going to matter if we do it or not. But then it has to be done consistently, because time after and time after and time after, I see so many of you get hyped up, get determined, get ready to go, do the work, and then 3 days later be like, well, I haven't signed anyone, so it's clearly not working. Let me take a step back. Every time you get inconsistent in your business, you just took this garden that you were planting your seeds in, and you took like a backhoe through it and just dug the whole dang thing up. You said, never mind, let me start over. Well, if you're starting over every 3 days in your business, no wonder it's not fruitful. No wonder you're not seeing the harvest. No wonder things aren't growing. You're not seeing the enrollments. You're tearing up the work that you're planting. You have to do it consistently. You got to show up every day. And by every day, I don't mean like slave to your phone. Like, I take a Sabbath, I take my day off, but you best believe we are doing like a little host to post push with some of our girls. And our goal is 5 a day. So you best believe by the Sabbath, I've done enough to still count for my 5 day. I'm working for it. You can have your like moments, you can have time with your family, you can be present in your life, but you can't neglect your business. You don't get to have a Sabbath after you've sent 3 messages a day for 4 days. Okay, honey boo boo, sorry, but you don't get it. You've got to show up for your business. You've got to do it consistently. Doing the action is going to give you the confidence. And as you do it, it'll get easier and easier and easier. You'll see more and more results. Last month was like my month back in. When I found out I was pregnant in September, it derailed me. It was the plan, but it still like brought up all kinds of like prenatal depression and all kinds of things. And I had a really, 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 really difficult 2 months where I spent most of the time in bed crying for 2 months straight, trying to work my business, but like I was not in a good place and it was so hard to show up. Last month, I decided, regardless, I was going to show up and I put my head down. And every single day, regardless, I chose, because it's a choice, I chose to do my business. I chose to prioritize my business. I chose to cry in the messages anyway, but I did it every single day. And guess what? Here we are in the next month, okay? I'm not having to fight to be consistent anymore because I just had 30 days of it. I had 30 days of showing up when it felt like nails on chalkboard that no matter how much inside me just wanted to lay back down, I said, no, we're going to do this because my family deserves it, because my goals and my dreams deserve me to show up, because I believe that God called me here for a reason and that He's going to do abundantly, exceedingly bigger than anything that I can even fathom. But I have to be faithful enough to show up and plant the seeds first. And so that's what we're doing when we show up every single day with that consistency, is we are showing God that we believe for it, we trust you for it, and we're willing to do the hard work. We're willing to show up. We're willing to plant the seeds. We're willing to trust when we don't understand what's going on. We're willing to do this every day, the hard, the scary, the uncertainty, because we know that what He has for us is on the other side of our consistency, is on the other side of our action, is on the other side of our belief. And so as we're ending the year, you guys, I want you to decide your business is worth it. Decide that you are not out of time. Decide that this industry does not discriminate. That if someone else has success, you can have success. There is someone here with your exact same story that is doing insanely better than you, not because they're better than you, but because they mastered these things. They figured out how to be consistent. They figured out what actions to do, and they figured out how to believe for it. And if you can get those things under your belt, guys, you have plenty of time in the next few weeks to completely change this year, to end on a note where you're like, holy crap, yo, like this is the year it happened. This is the year things did. This is the year that set up my future. And guys, if you want an incredible January, if you want 2025 to be something special, you need to end this year with all your cards on the table. You need to end this year like it freaking matters. You don't have time to wait till January, because waiting is not going to build your business. Waiting is going to allow the space of somebody else to come in here and build their business with your audience, right? Because you're not the only person on your feed that this is doing Amare. Okay? If you want something big to happen in January, it starts now. Your family deserves you to buck up and get it done. To figure out the consistency, to figure out the next right step. You ain't got to do everything, but you have to do something. You have to stop making the excuses of why you don't have to. No, it's done. We don't have time for it. You were called to something bigger and you were called to something better. And today's the day that we're going to decide as a group that we're done with this. Going forward, we're showing up like the baddies we are, ready to go out and change the world, to change our family, and to create such a big impact. You guys, it's really as simple as just making the decision that you're going to do it regardless. Believe it's going to matter. And let's freaking go out and change the world, right?
Oh my gosh. Mariah took this to church. She always does. She always takes us to church. I'm always like, preach, preach, girl. You guys, I have talked to so many of you that are, and you guys can say yes or no in the chat, that are like, I am sick and tired of being where I'm at in life. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I'm sick and tired of being mad at myself. I'm sick and tired of having my business not look how I want it to look. I'm sick and tired of making these goals and not being consistent. I'm sick and tired of things not working together for me, right? And I want to tell you, the only thing that needs to change is this. Because if you have the mindset that this is going to work for you, you have the mindset that your messages matter, you have the mindset that what you're doing is important, you have the mindset that you're on the just one step away from where you want to be, you're going to work differently. And to just show you guys that if I told you, hey, out of the next 25 messages you send, you're going to sign a brand partner who signs 100 customers next month. How would you go into those messages? Would you be like, oh, I'm so excited to send these messages. I wonder who the one's going to be. I'm so excited. They're going to come in. It's going to be great. Right? But you're going into the messages thinking like, what's the point? They're probably not even going to answer. What's the point? I'm just going to do it just because Courtney said send the messages. Right? And I'm not saying that to like be mean because I've been there where I'm like, I did everything and nothing came together. See, I told you I'm not the problem. Right? Okay. I'm probably taking some of you guys off because you're me, right? Or you're past me. Stop doing it to yourself. Stop doing it. There are people who are praying for you to come into their business. You guys know that feeling in your heart where you're like, I should message and then you don't? 9 times out of 10, God was giving you that inkling so that you could message someone who needed to hear from you and then you decided not to. So God sent someone else. I messaged someone today and I didn't want to, right? I didn't want to send these messages, but I did because I'm like, I'm committed, right? I'm consistent. And I sent her a message and she said, oh my God, Courtney, I literally was just watching your story and my husband walked out on me today and I'm going to need some extra money. Let me get through a couple days of the shock and I'm going to get back with you. What if I didn't message her? I don't know if she's going to join, but I followed that job of I'm going to message right now and I'm going to message the right person. And so I need you to go into these tasks and go into these things that you're going to do, knowing that you're going to reach the right people, that the right people are going to come to you and you're going to go to them. What you do matters. Like Mariah said, you don't have to do everything, but you do have to do something. Okay? And maybe for these next couple days, it's just one thing a day. But I need you to get comfortable doing something and then get comfortable doing a little bit more and then get comfortable doing a little bit more. A lot of you guys came from other companies with, let's be real, with some PTSD, okay? With some burnout, with some stress, with some anxiety, with some fear, with some, all the things, right? I need you to leave it. I need you to frickin' leave it on the floor. Write all the things you're afraid of. Read them out loud and say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not letting this rule my life. Burn it and leave it. You have to let those fears and those inner thoughts and all of those things, you have to let them go. Otherwise, they're going to continue to rule your life and you'll find yourself here on December 12th. I don't know what date it is. 2025. Still mad, still sick and tired, still irritated, still wondering why you're here. Decide that enough is enough. Decide that you're going to leave the crap on the floor. You're going to pick yourself up and you're going to let yourself keep walking. Just do the dang thing. Every single leader is here to help you. Every single leader has walked through what you've walked through. I promise. Everybody's been afraid. Everyone's been stressed. Everyone's been without hope. Everyone's felt unsafe. Everyone's felt scared. Everyone's felt everything. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is just a decision to go there and believe that you're going to be there. Right? Go do the things. January is going to be insane, but only if you start now. Start now. Let any of your leaders know if you need help, if you're confused, if you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start, you don't know how to restart. Reach out to someone. We cannot help you if we do not know you need help. Okay? We love you guys so much. We do team Zooms every single Monday at 8:30 Eastern. It is Tuesday because pneumonia killed me yesterday. I literally thought I was dying. Okay. Like I ordered an oxygen monitor. Okay. Like it was not okay. So every single Monday, 8:30 Eastern on this Zoom. I don't care if you're on Mariah and I's team or not. Show up. We will pour into you. We will love on you. We will believe in you. I promise you guys are on this Zoom because God brought you here and he wants you to know that there is so much more for you, but you have to leave the garbage on the ground. He's telling you that you can't have both. You can't have all your fear and your stress and your anxiety and your PTSD and your worry and also your dream life. You can't have them both. You got to choose which one you're going to hold. Okay? I love you guys so much. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube tonight. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. Bye, guys.